Greetings, my friends. I want to tell you all about my new channel, Pop Culture KO, a channel where I'm going to experiment and try out some new things that I can't do on my main channel here because the algorithm discourages innovation and trying out new formats. Pop Culture KO will be more eclectic, with movie and TV reviews, game reviews, reviews of classic movies, YouTube shorts about rumors, and videos starring Harvey Cthulhu, the Skull of Calderon, and Omnivac himself. Go to youtube.com/@popcultureko or youtube.com/theharveyzone and subscribe today. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do. We need your help. Thanks for watching, and now on with the video. As my Hollywood Spies predicted this past Saturday, a huge all-hands-on-deck meeting was held at Lucasfilm yesterday according to multiple sources, and the reported result is a massive shakeup and huge reorganization that seemingly has placed Kathleen Kennedy out in the cold. At this time, according to my best information, Kennedy has not as of yet been officially fired, nor have I any information that she will be fired. But in practical terms, if the following update from my Hollywood Spies and from the source codenamed Sparrow is correct, Kennedy has been isolated and, by Iger's fiat, effectively neutralized at Lucasfilm. Here's what I've been told. My friends, this video is crammed full of information, so be sure to watch it till the end or you'll miss some key info, as this video contains 3 separate reports I received yesterday. At this point, I must state that what I'm about to share with you is information provided to me by my Hollywood Spies and allies, but since I cannot personally confirm any of this, and I wasn't at this purported meeting, I am presenting all of this as unverified rumor, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. I also have something very important to say about rumors in general towards the end of this video, and I ask you to please be sure and watch this part because it further explains why I always present these kinds of things as rumors and illustrates something important about my process in making these videos. A glimpse behind the curtain, if you will. So I had begun my Wednesday night live stream, Pop Culture Breakdown, and a few minutes into it, someone in the chat said that Cameron had posted a Sparrow update on his Patreon page. I checked my email, and indeed, he had sent me an update, and I brought him on my show live. So if you want to hear the discussion as it happened live on the air, you'll find the link to that Pop Culture Breakdown episode in the video description. But essentially, here is what Cameron sent me. Quote, Sparrow has confirmed that the emergency meeting at Lucasfilm has been held. Apparently, this is the first of 2 meetings, as they were only able to accommodate 60% of the Lucasfilm staff members and will do a follow-up with those not in attendance. And here is the outcome. The 5 horsemen have taken formal control of Lucasfilm, and employees will answer to them until further notice. Each of the horsemen will have an area of responsibility. Legal will supervise business affairs, Famine will be in charge of the accountants, etc. And the horsemen will be led by the one designated as War, whom Sparrow identified as the Witch King of Burbank. That will serve as Bob Iger's hand inside Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy's fate remains unknown, although the horsemen are telling employees that, quote, she won't be a problem, unquote. It remains unclear as to whether Kennedy has been formally terminated, but the implication is that she will not be in charge of Lucasfilm until a formal transfer of power to a new president is authorized. The stated purpose of the Horseman's reign is to bring Lucasfilm in compliance with Disney's new budget rules. As such, all projects must be approved by the Nazgul until Iger makes a formal announcement about the future of the studio. As a result of this change of power, several Kennedy loyalists have resigned. I do not know if this includes anyone in the story group yet, but there are employees in other departments that are chafing at the thought of answering to the Horsemen and have quit as of this afternoon. Sparrow has been told that more formal announcements will be coming soon, unquote.
Yes, It is just as you predicted, O Great One. Your sources remain as true as the Northern Star.
Thank you, Ed. Some weird stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Some weird stuff.
And yet, over the course of the last 6 or 8 weeks, if these rumors are correct, and since they're coming from multiple sources, I think there's a good chance that they are correct, then things are unfolding more or less exactly as I and my allies have foreseen it. Now, during the show, I was neutral about what Cameron presented since I'd had no time to process it and hadn't heard any kind of confirmation from my Hollywood spies yet. Well, about an hour after Cameron's post, I got a message from my Hollywood spies that confirmed much of what Sparrow had said, and then later went into even more details. Quote, "So as we understand it, this is what we are being told. Bob Iger was renewed for 2 years. We are assuming he no longer wants to run for POTUS, at least not 2024 campaign. Most of Lucasfilm was on hand with the exception of one notable person. KK herself was not there. We have 10 sources that were there in this meeting, and they all said she was not there. According to all these sources, all of Lucasfilm's employees now report to one of the 5 men on stage and will receive an email by the end of the week. There was no talk of KK being fired. The only thing that was said about KK was, for the time being, Miss Kathy is not in a position to speak. More is coming in," unquote.
I find it rather telling that these 5 horsemen of the apocalypse, Iger's emissaries, are allegedly taking direct control over Lucasfilm. It would seem to indicate, if true, that you're right again, Doomcock. After all, while we don't know why it has thus far been impossible to pry Kennedy's power out of her clutches up till now, it seems something has changed and given Iger the upper hand. She's not fired yet. Big deal! If these rumors are true and control of Lucasfilm is now in the hands of Iger's Witch King, and they're saying Kennedy won't be a problem, that means effectively she's finished, regardless of her employment status. And that suggests indeed, as you reported, Iger has found some new leverage of power to make this happen.
Yes, O Skull of Calderon, if it's true. Now this next bit is very important. I have more information about this meeting from my Hollywood spies, but before I present it, I want to talk about this rumor and rumors in general and why I'm so cautious about presenting them. Now you may ask, if you have all this confirmation from multiple sources, why are you still so cautious in presenting all of this as rumor? If you've asked yourself this question, bravo, because skepticism is healthy, and truth be told, I am always skeptical to some extent about what I present as rumor, because I realize that what we're engaged in here is a form of information warfare, and I'm always looking out for disinformation. I don't just say these stories are rumors for shits and giggles. I genuinely mean it, because at heart, I'm always questioning not only sources, but myself as well. For example, let's look at these rumors. When I hear things like this, I ask myself, is there any chance this rumor is bullshit? And if so, what does that imply? Let's take this scenario as an example. Please note, I'm not saying the following hypothetical is true. I'm simply saying that this is the kind of thought process I run through every day with every rumor. This rumor could be entirely false, for example, if, say, Lucasfilm had learned Sparrow's true identity, had busted him or her, and then turned them, like a spy gets turned to a double agent. And then they had Sparrow continue sending out information that was false to confuse us, distract us, and try and discredit us. We wouldn't know until it was too late, right? Like the information Sparrow was sending out was good up to a point, then they got compromised and turned, and started spewing bullshit to discredit the true information they'd presented before. Again, I'm not saying this has happened, but it could happen. And so I always keep that in mind. No matter how good a source is, they can at some point be turned, compromised, or even replaced with a plant or duplicate. Yes, I know this sounds paranoid, and yet these are things I think of with any story, any source, no matter how good they've been in the past. and I care very much about presenting you guys and gals with the best information I can find. So when I state this is a rumor, I'm not being cute or disingenuous, I'm being literally serious. I genuinely mean it. If I present you a rumor, it's because I believe there's a decent chance that it's true. But there is always the real chance, no matter how careful I am, no matter how hard my Hollywood spies work, that any given rumor could be false. This is information warfare, and we must always remain on guard. Evaluate each piece of information with a critical eye, and believe nothing until you see it confirmed with your own eyes. This is not just true of rumors, but everything in life these days, folks. This is a time of lies, and in a time of lies, the truth is very hard to find. All I can promise you is I'll keep trying to find it.
But what about the fact that a number of sources confirmed to your Hollywood spies that the meeting took place?
Same deal, Harvey. My Hollywood spies do their best to vet sources, but any spy network can be infiltrated. Again, I'm not saying this has happened, merely that it's entirely possible that it could happen one day, and that's why, no matter what, if I wasn't present during a meeting, if I didn't see a particular document, I say it's a rumor and I mean it. That said, my Hollywood spies have some additional information to share with us about the dynamic and very fluid situation at Lucasfilm, and here's what they told me. Quote, as we understand it, the Men in Black, there's more than 5 now, don't have just a smoking gun, they have multiple smoking guns. Not only does this reportedly implicate KK, but most of the people there. Not only did KK allegedly use money in an unapproved way, most of the staff did as well. Not only did KK allegedly use reallocated money to fund pet projects like Acolyte, Rogue Squadron, several unnamed projects just to keep them going, it seems that most of her staff also had their hands in this cookie jar, spending it on stuff like vacations, personal expenses, gas, cars, food, hotels, and lots of parties. The list goes on. Allegedly, this mismanagement of money goes all the way back to day one, according to these accounts. The Force Awakens cost was $300 million. In fact, the only movie under KK that's come in even close to on budget was The Last Jedi. The Acolyte was or is the line in the sand as far as KK's spending spree is concerned. The source that gave us all this claims the Acolyte budget is over $300 million best case scenario. According to this source, Leslie Headland has been given 72 hours to be in office with her documents in hand or else. So what about KK? She's not fired, not officially, but allegedly she's not allowed on Disney property till after this investigation, unquote.
Holy shit! So old KK is not even allowed on Lucasfilm property? The president of the company is banned from her own office?
That's the rumor, Harvey Cthulhu. As always, though, I present it with several grains of salt. Now, this would be entirely consistent with the rumors that they found some kind of incriminating evidence of wrongdoing on the Acolyte. Sources have been telling my Hollywood spies allegations that, as described earlier, spending was out of control over at Lucasfilm for quite some time. But Sparrow claims that the Nazgul discovered some kind of figurative smoking gun that shifted the power over to Iger, and now with Iger's contract being renewed until 2026, which is confirmed by the way, his power has been enhanced to the point where he can make a bold move. And while the media is distracted by the news of his renewal, he can make other big news under cover of that distraction. In evaluating rumors, I try to ask myself, does this bit of information conform to other facts and rumors? Are there contradictions? Is it plausible? While I'm presenting all of this as unverified rumor, folks, I say that again for those who don't understand seemingly what a rumor is, these individual reports are lining up rather nicely, and that just adds to that plausibility. But only time will tell how this shakes out for sure. Frankly, at this point, given all the reports, confirmations from multiple angles and so on, I tend to believe that something big is going on at Lucasfilm. But if all of this is incorrect, it would have to be a coordinated disinformation campaign of exquisite subtlety and brilliant execution on multiple levels, because I just heard from a third source unrelated to Sparrow or my Hollywood Spies that a Lucasfilm friend of theirs they've known for many years has been called into a big meeting on Friday. Could this be the alleged second meeting my sources spoke of? I don't put anything past Iger or Kennedy, so while the notion of a massive disinformation campaign remains, the extent of the information and number of sources makes me doubt it, though I do remain innately suspicious until it's confirmed as a done deal. And that's why I offer all of this as rumor and remind you to please take every bit of it with a healthy dose of salt. So there you have it, my friends. The latest update smuggled out from behind the magic curtain. My thanks to my amazing Hollywood Spies and to Cameron Pashaw for his updates from Sparrow. Strange things are afoot at the Circle KK, my friends. She may get fired, or she may simply be banned from the office and spend the remainder of her contract out at home. Or hell, in Christopher Lee fashion, she may yet again rise from the coffin to strike again. But I will say, it's never looked worse for her. Maybe even KK can't get away with making the biggest box office loser in history. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.